I'm going to start out by showing you some crafting updates. You guys remember this, the artificial flowers in plaster of Paris craft? I still have it in the background. It still flakes, but it's such a pretty craft. You know how when you find something, a craft that's so pretty that you just kind of fall in love with it? So I'm hoping that one day I can redo it and just see if I can make it work. Another thing is, I don't know what to do with this. I have this cork and I just put an artificial flower in it. And again, if you guys are crafters and you can kind of think of what to do with, you know how the corks always have the hole in the top. And I just thought about putting roses in it. I don't know what to do with it. So I just kind of left it back here. So you guys may see that back here. I can't put it back there now. The other problem that I had was I showed you guys how to put the old candle wax in jars, and I don't have a wick long enough for most of the regular jars. So I have all these short, half-filled jars. This was a jar from jerk chicken. Um what is it? Seasoning. So you know how you can buy that? And it's such a pretty jar with this little detail at the bottom and the way it's shaped. I can't hold. Let's see if I can hold it so that you guys can see how it's shaped. And I thought this would be such a great jar for a candle. But as you can see, I don't have enough wax. No, I have enough wax, but I don't have enough a tall enough wick. So I was reusing the wick that the original candles came in. So let me show you what I've been doing with the wax until I can get longer wicks. So what I do is when I have the time, energy, and feel like it, I break up these candles. I just use a scissor. I'm sure some of you are smart and you can guys get like a grater and just sort of grate it up and put it in these jars. This is the jar that I use to melt it because it starts to dry on the sides and it's hard to take it off the sides. I would have to then melt the whole thing for it to come off the sides. So what I do is I try to put the wax, all the melting, the wax I want to melt in this jar so it can melt. And then what I would try to do is put it in this jar. But what I was telling you guys is that since the wicks that I have came from these size candles, these little candles, the wicks are like this tall. And so if I put it in a jar like this, I would only have wax up to like this point. So I would have to get tall wicks so that I can make a big jar candle. So I want to just give you guys those types of crafting updates before I get into gang stalking, talking to you guys about that. There was another crafting update I wanted to tell you about. I can't remember, but those are just some things that hopefully at some point I'll get to, to show you guys on camera. I know some of the crafts I didn't do on camera. The V2K talkers reminded me that I never did this craft on camera. But again, I will eventually do it. But once I do it on camera, I hope to do it in a better way. You know what I mean? I just didn't want to do it just the same thing that I did already. I hope to come up with an idea that's even bigger than that idea. And that's part of what I'm saying. If they're observing me and stealing my ideas and then saying it out loud and coming up with a way to twist it, meaning like, okay, they'll see that idea and say, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Then you've stolen my idea by me at least putting it out publicly, even if it's not a good video and it's a messed up video. At least I've had the chance to put it out. Do you get what I'm saying? I think you guys get it. Like they would have me become the type of person who would just go over the same thing over and over and over again. And they keep using the word over explain. And that's part of what I'm saying, that I have to find a way to, they said, take back control. Not even that. Live a life with all of this chaos. And this is how this really seems to me. It's a very chaotic system. And I wonder how, in all their chaos that they create, they are able to remain unchaotic. I don't think they can. I think they've created a way of creating so much chaos that they are part of the chaos. And it's hard for them to separate themselves from it. Like some things that I'm telling you folks, and the comments, you guys with your comments, you just amaze me. Some things that I'm telling you folks, it's so obvious, but it's not to them. And I think they got caught up in their own chaos. And I want to talk about that in this video. They had some other suggestions. Now, they want me to bring back the interpretation of the day. I'll bring that back when the chaos is over. Because I think it's important that we learn how predators think and how to interpret what they're saying. I think most of us who aren't, we're not like strategic in that way. We're not used to dealing with people who are able to manipulate us in such a way that our lives become about them. And I keep saying that. It's as though their chaos creates such a chaos for them that we are supposed to become part of that chaos. And every time you try to take that chaos and throw it out of your way so you can do something else, the chaos, they try to put it right back in your way. And I really think that's what it is. I think it's a way of sucking so many people into their chaos that you can't do anything else. That's all you see. And I talked about that in another video, how they wanted me to be able to see dreams and hear things, meaning put something in my ear so I can't even hear anyone else, put something in my vision so I can't even see. And that's what chaos does too. So literally and figuratively, my eyes are running. That's another thing. This system creates so much, like, runny eyes, clogged nose. My throat has a lot of phlegm. It just creates so much, I don't know, fluids. I again, I don't know. But that's part of this. It's all part of this system and this technology that has to be exposed and told to people. And if I get sucked into their chaos where, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? I would never get anything else done. I told you guys I was going to talk to you about something, but I forgot. So I'm going to end this video, watch this video, figure out what I said I was talking about, and then talk about it in the next video. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your comments.